Now, while Wen's currently working on taking the rear seats out, we're obviously going to give it a really good clean inside because we are going to be replacing the rears now with the new leather seats that we've got, and then we've got the bucket seats to go in the front. But what I'm going to do is, I've actually Alcantara'd the steering wheel. And truthfully, I found the kit online for £40 and it's pretty good actually, it's a direct kit. But then I also found this upstairs, and this is like an Alcantara wrap in effect. And I've done this once before and it weren't that great. It's quite hard to use, it's really hard to cut for some reason and you don't get a nice line. But I am going to try and do the gear knob, I'm going to do the armrest, and I'm also going to try and do the gear handbrake lever. So is that even a thing? The handbrake lever. I'm going to try and do that just because I think it's going to finish it off a little bit. Now on the 1M, they actually have this front trunk done here. I don't know if that's a real word for that either, but basically where the clocks are, there's a bevel and it goes over that, and the 1M actually has that done in Alcantara, so I'm actually going to try and do that at the same time and just see sort of what results we get, and if it's crap, we'll just rip it off. What we're going to be doing here is starting on the wrap process. So where we're measuring the bonnet, we're going to be laying out the first sight of the film. The rest of the guys are going to be jumping on the rest of the project, which involves building a 4 or 5 piece bucket frame seat, measuring the seat itself, removing some of the other parts from the car, and then we're going to be letting Wen and Sam start on the actual wrap process. Now, Wen has done this before. Sam has never done anything with wrap, but she's pretty OCD, and I do think she's going to get a really good finish on that. And this is where we let the team literally jump on the car and start to build it themselves.
I'll move to Big Sam now. Big Sam's getting a tape measure. Where's the tape measure, Big Sam? It's down there, Sam. Sam, tape measure's there.
This is the longest point, not here. Yep. This is the longest point because this is all one piece of vinyl, right? So you're going to go over there, smack by about there. So if you hold it there, I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to there to change the base. Yep, that's fine. Right, so we need about 3 meters, 300 of film to do that side. And then what we're going to have to do is we need to trim this, trim this, and trim this without seeing what we are being basically blind, because we can't see what we're doing. There's no way of seeing what we're doing. So up there, that gives us more room here. Right, Sam, you go to that end of the car. Keep it tight because it's creasing. Keep it tight. Right, you go in fact, go that way, Sam, because I've got my way. To me, yo. Right. So we're going to go down here. Yep. All we're going to do now, these guys are working on the roof, so they can't pull it all the way. You need to cover the roof. Yeah, this is going to cover here, isn't it? Yeah, so. No, you're alright. Right, so we need to be covering here, Sam. So this is what you need to be working out with your short. That's really short, because we can't back over. So you need to be about there.
Dan's taking his watch off now because he's getting serious.
We're getting serious, brother.
What's Dan doing?
We're taking off wrong bumpers. We're not that colour. Can we move this a minute?
No.
No.
Nobody wants an SE bumper.
Because we've got to get your hand there and pull it from there. Obviously, without breaking though, is my only goal. Because if you break in there, you bring it down. You know
Yeah, you break that thing that's on the car.
So my idea is get my hand there, push it out, even pressure. Don't drag it because you'll break it. This clip's along there. So what I'm going to do is get my hand in behind and push out a little bit.
Dan's giving you all of his years of experience of bumper pushing.
Oh mate, we've racked on rate bumpers out. Because this side's not great. She'll go. Is there something underneath now?
I don't know, I've got something behind. I don't know, I've got glasses on.
This side's already out.
Yeah, but
it can't work.
there feels like there's something
Yeah, it
there.
feels too sturdy.
That's it, just there.
Right, just pull together. That's it. Pull together. Adjust these nice and easy. 2 tabs, pull straight out like that. This is not a tutorial, yeah. This is not a tutorial. It's mine around. This is real man working sweat this. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Where are we going?
Trip it backwards like this.
Yeah,
It's just in case some dirt in, yeah.
they're aftermarket sensors.
Look at that.
Are they?
Look at that, David. I've been stabbed.
Oh dear.
I've been impaled with something. Oh yeah, they're aftermarket.
Yeah, someone.
Could cook another fucking dinner with that.
I had a good bash on
A bit
this.
greasy, isn't it?
That's horrendous. I could reuse that for, well, can't
Engine oil.
Just need a service. What you need to do is take backing tape off, and all the key point is you need to keep the vinyl tight, so you're fighting the weed effect. So as long as, like when you're weeding it now, you hold it here and keep it fairly tall, that'll come off nice. And then when you get to the last bit, go slow, because what happens is you get static, which creates dust. I know, just make sure your bottom piece is lower than the actual door. Yeah. So yeah, now you pull that tight towards you both edges, yeah? And then I'm there. Yes. That's it. So you can ignore the mirror a little bit because we're not too stressed about that. But what you need to do is if you grab it here and here, so grab there as well, stand up if you have to, and just pull it as tight against yourself. So you're pulling it like this, and then you're going to as tight as you can against the door. So try and ignore it. See if it'll go in. So the idea is you're getting a smooth finish.
Yeah, this isn't sticking. Can we have the ball?
I think it's dirt underneath. It only sticks to it. It only goes there. And it's stuck.
So we're going to speed up the rest of the video because you don't want to be watching someone wrapping a car for hours on end. But basically what the team are trying to do now is understand how the film works. That we've realised that this particular wrap doesn't allow us to stretch it very much, because if we do, we tend to lose the colour and it goes yellow because this is a metallic film. So these are a lot trickier to use, but this is how you get this really nice sort of paint metallic finish from the cars. Now what they're going to be doing is learning how to trim some areas, learning how to preheat an area, and then literally doing like what's called a power heat or the final heat, and that's where you put more heat to the actual film in certain areas and it stops it from peeling back later on. So last night we stayed here until, well actually this morning, because we were here till about 1 o'clock and we were trying to get as much of the 123 conversion or modifications done as we could. Now what we did is we got the sponsors in, as we've spoke about before, and we had them all having a bit of a play. I didn't give them much guidance, I just let them kind of go for it, and we had to rip the whole car apart. Now as part of that, we actually took the front and the rear bumpers off. We took all the interior out completely, bar obviously the dashboard and the steering wheel, and we've pretty much gutted the whole car. Now where we are with it, we actually haven't done that bad. I've only got the side skirts to wrap on this side, well, plus the petrol cap, because we've put a logo on, which means when we wrap that piece, it'll be kind of ghosted in for good. And then on the other side, all we've really got to do, and it's quite a big area, but it's an easy area, is the rear quarter, which obviously goes all the way up to the A-pillar, so that's one piece, and then we've got the door and the side skirt to do yet again. Now the rear bumper isn't here. We've got to pick that up on Friday. We're trying to get, well, we have got a second-hand M Sport, but for the front, I've actually ordered a 1M bumper. Now, I've got a diffuser to go there as well, or front splitter, whatever you want to call it. And this is something we need to do a bit of prep work on in order to make it so it can actually wrap. And that's because at present, this is in basically like a plastic primer, I can't even speak, a plastic primer. And that means it won't wrap. And if it did wrap, it'd be full of little pinholes and it'd just look like it's been gone through like pebble dash and it's been stone chipped to hell, and it'll look shocking. And the film on the wrap is actually pretty damn good with this metamount. We have found that we can't do a lot of shrinking. We're not allowed, or it won't allow us to stretch it because we'll lose the colour straight away. So the guys that were learning to do some wrapping on there have done a really good job, but they've only been doing certain areas just because of how intricate this wrap actually is. Now, the only thing I really need to do is get the rear bumper sorted, get the new diffuser on, and get that wrapped up. But there is quite a lot we need to do on the interior, and that's because we found some issues while we were actually trying to work on this car. Now, as you'll see in here, we've got the Cobra bucket seats, I bought the runners, and I bought the subframes. However, they weren't the right subframe, or we need an additional subframe for it to work. And that's because the BMW base plate needs to be 43 centimetres, 433 mil. So I've had to order some new brackets for that, which has cost 135 quid. They're due tomorrow, but it means we can get those seats actually into the car, and I think they're going to look really, really good. Now, two other things. One thing we've done, and one thing we've actually realised just doesn't work. What I have done in here is I've Alcantara'd the steering wheel because I didn't want to swap the whole steering wheel. I just didn't think it was worth it. I actually don't mind that style. I'm a bit funny with BMW wheels. That isn't a bad style. But we have Alcantara'd the top of the cockpit itself, just like a 1M would have. I've carbon wrapped the pillar across the top. Obviously, we've got the CarPlay. I've Alcantara'd the gear shifter, and I've Alcantara'd the handbrake and the armrest as well. And I think it just really suits it. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't match this. I bought this as a kit. I've done this manually by hand, so we're probably going to have to change this as well. Now, the one thing that I didn't like, I'm going to come to now. Now, annoyingly, the 118 M1 replica kind of budget build that we've got for sale on eBay and Facebook at the minute had a real carbon spoiler on it. Now, we didn't expect to be buying this 123, so I never thought anything about it, and I've tiger sealed that spoiler on because I just didn't want it to get stolen. Annoyingly, it means I can't swap the spoilers over from the other car to this car, because truthfully I'd like to make this one with the carbon spoiler, but it means whoever buys that has got the best spoiler you can get. Now, what I have done on this car is I've actually just ordered a GTS style spoiler. I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to go that way, and I kind of wanted to do that on the M2. But I've just bit the bullet and I've bought the spoiler. So the spoiler's on its route, it'll be here in a couple of days, and this car is now going to have one of the GTS style big wings, and we're just going to have to see how it looks. I think it's going to look really good. I've done a render, this is what it looks like, and I do think it's going to work, but let me know in the comments what you think. Did we go wrong? Should we have just got a standard spoiler? And how are we doing with this car so far? Now, what I'm currently doing on the new 1M style bumper is basically inlaying it. So for people that don't know what that is, the only way I can get a really nice finish on this bumper is by putting pieces in before we wrap over the top. And that's because it's hard to show you on camera, but I'll come in a minute. Basically, when we lay the film over the top of this, I can't get it to go all the way in here and all the way in there in one piece because of the way the bends are. It just wouldn't tuck, and it wouldn't give a nice finish. And if we did manage to completely manipulate it, which we're not, but if we did manage to completely manipulate it, it would pop back, especially this film, it wouldn't allow us to do it. So basically what I'm going to do, inlaying in here, I'm inlaying in a couple of pieces on the top of the bumper here. Again, I'm going to like superimpose the image in a minute. Stop. So what I'm going to do is inlay in here, and then we're going to put a full piece across the bottom, which will be an inlay as well, because I want the bottom of the bumper to be completely wrapped basically, so it's all one piece. And then once we've done that, I'll be able to put the main piece of film over the top of it, and it'll actually all look like one, well, just done in one piece really, the way we've actually trimmed it.
Cupid is a goddamn fool. Got me tripping, breaking all my rules. Top of a class, the baddest in school. What am I to do with a bad bitch? Like, black nails look so good on my tattoos. Bedroom lights low, loving everything about you. Got me scared cause the kiss is kinda lethal. Dressed in see-through, she been on the scene too. Cupid is a goddamn fool. Got me tripping, breaking all my rules. Top of the class, the baddest in school. What am I to do with a bad bitch? Like mini skirt, guys busting out the boots. I like your lingo. Who you think you talking to? Most nights, baby, I'm going home with you. But tonight, Cupid got me and I'm going home with you.
Right, so we've got the front bumper on. As usual, doesn't fit very well, so it's going to need a bit of adaptation on it. We're going to have to make a bracket for the bottom, if I'm totally honest. It just doesn't fit as well as I'd want it to fit, but truthfully, it looks pretty damn good. The next step that we're going to be working on now is getting the seat frames and bases in, because I really want to get these seats in the car. And then the rear bumper's turned up. It's actually brand new. It's in primer, so I'm not sure if it's genuine or not, but that's actually a bonus because there's no bad paint behind it. It's just a bumper that's in primer, so we're going to be getting that wrapped later on today, get the rear diffuser on, and hopefully get this kind of looking like a car. And then we're going to bolt everything back up, tighten everything up, and actually get it all set back right. There is one other thing we need to do, and that's wrap the mirrors, which is something I didn't want to do. I've ordered 1M black mirrors. I ordered the wrong ones. I ordered facelift by accident, not looking at the advert. Then I've ordered the new ones, and the ones that should have come today came in an empty box, or I should say it was an empty box. There was nothing in it. Someone's clearly stole them. So the nice post office lady turned around and said, just reject them and you'll get a refund. I want to get this car on the road. So what we're going to do for now is we are going to wrap those mirrors, which is going to be an absolute pig to do, but we're going to get them wrapped, and then at least the car can be back on the road tomorrow. We can test drive it, we can check the wheels fit right, and then we can go from there with everything else that we need to do. So that's the 1, 2, 3 now finally complete. Now, I say finally complete, nothing's ever complete when it comes to Inspired, and everyone seems to know that. And that's because I do think this car does need lowering. Now, we do have the badge set on order, they're not here yet, so that's something we can't fit right now. But I do think the height of this car is just a little bit too much, especially with this colour. This colour really works, but it makes the car emphasise how high it is. So that's something we are going to be rectifying next. But I actually think that this has come out excessively well. Really, really good colour scheme. Love the wheels, love the rear diffuser. Not 100% on the wing. I wanted it, I still would have it. I'm not sure it was the best choice, but it's done with, and we've drilled through the boot, so there's no way going back. That is literally what it is. But let us know what you think on this video, guys. The team have done a really good job. Some of these guys have never really modified a car themselves. I think having all the sponsors and a few friends around to actually do this build and kind of get involved brought a lot of people together, and I think it made a big difference. And that's what the car scene really should be about. It's not about whose car's better than anybody else's, what have you had done. It's about having the fun doing the build, not just owning the car. But have a look around it, tell us what you honestly think, give us your opinion. But thanks for watching.
No, 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 just like the wind.